We've all been there. You deliver an editing project for a client. A few weeks go by and you need to clear some space off your drives, so you go to delete the raw media. But the moment you hit the delete key, an email pops up from the client requesting a revision, and all you have saved is that H.264 QuickTime. Throughout my 20-year career, this has happened to me more times than I can count. So I developed export settings that allow me to delete raw media while still being able to complete 99% of revision requests, even if it's weeks, months, or years after delivery, and the raw media is long gone. Context is key, so I'm going to explain my settings through the lens of the most common client revision requests. I'll be using Premiere Pro, but you can also find these settings in Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve. Let's say your client originally had you deliver for web, hence the H.264 QuickTime you had saved. But now they have an opportunity to deliver their project to play in theaters. So what's the issue with the H.264 file? Well, it's compressed, and it's not ideal to create a new deliverable from a file that's already compressed. What you need is a master quality file from which you can make a new deliverable. So the first key to my export settings is to export as Apple ProRes 4444. This is a master quality setting, and with it, you can make new deliverables for your client. Now, let's say the client also needs you to revise a graphic in the video. Since they're showing it in theaters, they have a new offer for the audience, so they need to include it at the end. So again, what's wrong with that H.264 file you have? Well, the final graphics are baked into the video, making it impossible to switch out the end graphic. So the next export setting is what I call a clean version of their video. That means you disable all graphics in the sequence prior to export. So now you can add new graphics over the top of the original video if requested later. So now let's say, even though they're adding a new end graphic, they also want the original graphics to remain throughout the video until the end. So in addition to the clean export you just completed, we're also going to export the graphics separately. So now disable all video clips except for the graphics and export the file using Apple ProRes 4444 with alpha. This will preserve the transparency of the graphics, so you can lay it over the clean export. Between these two, you'll be able to update any graphics. Next, the client needs you to cut in new voiceover to match the end graphic. So what's wrong with the H.264 file? Well, the voiceover, music, and sound effects are all mixed together, making it impossible to isolate the voiceover. And the audio is likely compressed. And just like video, you don't want to make new deliverables from audio files that are already compressed. So for the next export setting, we're going to isolate just the music by disabling the voiceover and sound effects, and we'll export that as a single uncompressed 4816 WAV file. Then we'll do the same with the sound effects. And then we'll do the same with the voiceover. So now you have 3 separate files. In the audio world, these are known as splits or stems. Now imagine these notes come in on a project, but you followed these instructions. You don't have the raw media anymore because you already deleted it, but you have these files: a ProRes 4444 clean layer, a ProRes 4444 with alpha that just has the graphics, an uncompressed WAV file of just the music, just the sound effects, and just the voiceover. And in my experience, these are the main revision requests that come in. And you can now do all of those with these simple settings. Just bring in your clean video file with no graphics, place the graphics with alpha on top, and your 3 separate audio layers. Now you can export with new settings, change a graphic, update the placement of the original graphics, update the voiceover, switch out the music, or switch out the sound effects. If you got value out of this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And you might also like my free editing business kickstart guide, which you can download at the link in the description. Happy editing.